Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Danceman here, coming to you with Star Trek Online. This is actually a start of a new series that I'm going to start. It is Starship Builds. This should be interesting. First of all, this is my first build video. I'm dedicating this to my soon-to-be nephew, Brandon, because he's a fan of the ship I'm actually reviewing. Right now, we're at Deep Space Nine, which, is very nice. And right now, I'm going to show you the ship. This is on console, if you guys are wondering. The ship is called the USS Destiny. She is a legendary pilot warship, which you get from the legendary Starship sets. Now, I'm sure that this build could be useful for a regular T6 Defiant class. And a lot of this stuff is actually you have to get from fleets or from pretty much, grinding through the game. So let's start off with, pretty much the weapons set here. I've got two Type 15 phaser dual heavy cannons, both with crit hit, damage ×2, and penetration. Penetration's always good when it comes to heavy cannons, because I can have up to 10 armor penetrations. It has a 2% crit chance on everything, and they run at 893 phaser damage. Very nice. Then, of course, I have also in the front a pulse phaser dual beam bank, Type 15. And that is running with crit damage, critical hit ×2, and damage mod, which, as you can see, that gives me a 4+% crit chance and a 20% crit severity. I actually put this on the front because I felt it was awesome. Next is the Agony Phaser Energy Torpedo launcher, Type 15, with double crit damage, a critical hit, and a damage multiplier. This actually was a event weapon for I forget what, but it was an event weapon. It actually punches for 48 DPS or 4,177.7 phaser damage, plus the 80.4 phaser damage per second for 10 seconds, ignoring shields, 40% crit severity, 2% crit chance, and it recharges every 10 seconds. I also have the phaser quad cannons that came with the ship. I upgraded to a Mark 15 Epic with critical hit, crit damage, crit X, and 3 times the damage. So this pretty much gives me a lot, and it hits like a truck. I mean, does it hit like a truck? I don't have the set bonuses on it because I have a better setup for that. In the back, I have the kinetic cutting beam Mark 15. This is the Borg cutting beam. So that's actually a good thing to get from the Borg reputation. Must have on any ship because it pretty much ignores shields and will go for, basically cuts. And I have it as a adapted set with the 2 multiplier, which I have the console, the assimilated, where is it? There it is. The assimilation module Mark 15, I highly recommend that on every build, and it is actually a must. It gives me the, as you can see, 1.2 crit chance, 12.1% crit severity, 5+ the power of weapons. Also does starship damage control, control expertise. It is a must, and of course you get the Omega Weapon Amplifier, which has a chance to proc energy drain resistance, which is always a plus. You should have it. That's not even a question. Also, I have here I built it, an Phaser Omni Beam. These 3 things in the back are all 360 beams. So not only am I got the 5 weapons in the front, I have 3 in the back going. So that's pretty much 8 weapons firing at once. But the phaser beam, it's in your crafting. You have to craft it. And that pretty much speaks for itself. You find somebody that's level 15 in beam arrays, have them build it for you, or if not, you just get somebody to, you find it on the exchange. And then of course I have the advanced inhibiting phaser beam array. Yes, it's a Mark 15, but it's not of epic quality. This you actually get from the mission Galaxy with it's a mission. I just know that. The Galaxy mission. With Geordi LaForge, doing that mission. But the best thing about this is I've got the 2-piece set, which I will show you the other part of it. Oh no, wait, this isn't the Geordi one. This is the one from the Dominion, I believe. No, this is the one. Yeah, this is the Jemadar Reputation. I'm sorry. The Jemadar Reputation. You gotta build it with the Jemadar. It's a crafting. And with the 2-piece set, I have plus 10 phaser damage and turn rate. Now, I don't use chronotons nor polarons. Red matter capacitor that you can get from the Phoenix lockbox. Self-explanatory, must have on every ship. I use the Delta reinforcements. You get this from the Delta Alliance missions. Not really necessary, but I have it there in case I ever need it. For shields, I have the Prevailing Inverted Resistance. This is actually from the Task Force Reputation, the competitive war games. This is a must. I have seen a lot of players use this. It is a must. Gives you good physical and kinetic hull resistances. Its shields are at 7,000. And since I have the 2-piece set, which I actually will show you that, I get also a hull capacity, control resist expertise, and a plus 15 to my starship weapons, which increases my crit hit chances. This here is the Elite Fleet Inversion Protomatter Deflector, Mark 15. Now, I got this from my fleet. This is definitely a very good deflector. It gives you hull capacity, shield capacity, impulse expertise, drain, and more for your starship weapons. And right there, starship shield pen. Penetration. plus 5 crit severity based on hull percentage and crit chance. This is only in the fleet. So get a fleet and hope you can get it. The other set to the prevailing set is the inverted impulse engines, and it must be the prevailing introverted because the other set does not work well, as far as I know. But I only use this for the bonus, so it gives me better impulse, sector speed, flight speed. Yeah, you could say that's good. Pretty much self-explanatory. You only want it for the 2-part bonus. And then my warp core is a fleet warp core. It's a plasma integrated warp core with amp, ECAP efficiency, triple S, weapons to auxiliary, and weapons to shields. So as you can see, it's a very nice little thing that gives you some boosts. Weapons to shields, energy engine capacitor. Yet again, you need a fleet, so get yourself a fleet. For my engineering, I have the Universal Console Domino, which that comes off the Bajoran event ship. You can also get it in the Phoenix lockbox, even though that's going to be hard to get because I think it's an ultra rare or an epic, I forget. But it gives you 15 plus phaser damage and a accuracy rating. Then once you hit Domino, it basically does everything that you see there. And that is a good thing. I already went over the assimilate module. The next piece is going to be very difficult for some people to get. It is a point defense bombardment warhead. You get this from buying the NX-01 from the low buy store, or if you were lucky to get the NX-01 with the legendary ship pack, then you will get this as well. This gives you 25% projectile damage and plus 1% crit chance. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but this thing also hits like a truck, because it pretty much does a lot of AoE damage, as you can see. It fires off a projectile and basically blows stuff up. In other words, hits like a truck. And this piece here is the Bioneural Infusion Circuits Mark 15. This is only at the low buy store. And this is for our hull capacity and control expertise, but mostly this. Down there, the 23.8% crit severity. This thing gives you crits. You must have crits, because you will hit crits. The Universal Weaponized Halcyon Torsion. Now this came with the ship. It gives me plus 15 phaser damage and plus 15 crit severity. So in other words, I'm getting more hits and bang for my buck. It also does shield penetration, which is always good, especially when you're running cannons. The Ordnance Accelerator. This one is, you want this for the projectile damage, the phaser damage, directed energy weapon damage. Like I said, this is a part of the Dominion reputation, and it's good to get it up to number 2 so you can get that extra boost. I also have a tactical vulnerability locator. This one is from the fleet store, and it's for phasers specifically, so that is a plus. I'm capping a lot of phaser damage here. Lorca's custom fire controls. Now this is from the Discovery's from the Discovery Reputation. 3.9 crit chance, more weapon power setting, and then a 157.5 weapon starship shield penetration. Like I said, this ship hits like a truck. I do not have the second set because I would be taking away from certain aspects like survivability. The universal secondary shield projector, this thing does shield restore. This was got from... I got this from the Infinity lock boxes. I'm sure you could find this for cheap, but I don't know. So you just hope for the best on that. If you can't get this piece, the M6 computer would be a better choice. Or anything that's on that list right there. But you're doing it mostly for the phaser damage. Yes, it also does disruptor and plasma, but your best bet is to have it for the phaser, since I'm running phasers. The next piece is the Radiant Field. This gives me outgoing hull heals, more weapon damage at 12.5%, and 25% bonus shield heals. Now you get this... I actually forget how... Oh wait, this is from the... It's one of the reputations. It's the Delta Alliance reputation. I've always had this on here, but I've always done the set 2 bonus, which gives me more hull capacity and a temporary hit points. But since this ship is OP with its weapon damage, I haven't had a need to really do that. And then of course I have on here as well an Approaching Agony console, which gives me plus 15% phaser damage and a 1.5 crit chance. You can buy this from the exchange for most likely dirt cheap. So I would recommend just getting it. But as you can see on screen, I have right now, with not being in space, my crit chance is 3.7 and my crit severity is at 77.1%. And my hull is at 67,500 with a max shield capacity of 7,173. And no resistances because they don't show up whenever you're on a station. So that's that. Now this ship is fully tiered up. So I have the plus 5 accuracy, plus 15 crit severity, which, boy, another 2% crit chance, 2.5%. And then I have kinetic damage and energy damage. And then it has its traits, but I don't use these traits. I have my own traits, which on that front, for my space traits, I have Intense Focus, which gives me 1.5% accuracy and 1.5% shield pen. Now, this is something you have to buy from the store. It can be pricey, but you'll get it. Maybe. Duelist Fervor. You or your teammate getting kills grants short damage boosts. It's a pretty good perk. Beam Barrage. That's mostly for my beams that I have in the back. Gain beam damage whenever activating a skill, which I do run with that, and I will show that to you. Anchored, the ship is actually good if it sits, and I will actually show that possibly. It actually gains a passives. I also have superior beam training, which is good for my beams. I have superior cannon training, which that adds to the beam cannons. You know, those fun cannons I have up front. A good day to die. If I activate going down fighting, I will benefit with extra hull, which is good, especially if I'm running into Borg issues. Fluidic Cocoon is pretty decent. It gives me more energy damage and chance when 20% chance when receiving kinetic damage, I get more of that beam weapon back. It stacks up 3 times. And then point blank shot. This you can get from the mission with Martok. And this increases your energy weapon damage the closer you are to a target. So that's actually a good thing. Some of these 3 here, store. That one store as well. You can probably find it cheap. Anchored, you're not going to find cheap. Not at all. And superior beam training and cannon training you have to get from your fleet. You get the basic version from the game, but you have to get these 2 here. You have to go to your fleet K-13 and upgrade it. Which is not necessary, but okay. My crew stations right now are, for my universal slot, I've got emergency powered weapons and reverse shield polarity. So in other words, if I'm taking too much damage, I'm pretty much reversing the shields and beating them up with it. And emergency powered weapons, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Tactical Team 1. Beam Fire at Will 2. Attack Pattern Beta 2. And Cannon Rapid Fire 3. And you will see that this thing procs a lot. For my Lieutenant Tactical, I have Torpedo Yield High Yield 1, which I don't use, but I do use the Torp Spread 2, which is actually very good because with that torpedo in the front, it pretty much does a lot of damage. My full engineering, I have emergency powered shields, emergency powered weapons 2, and engineering team 3. For my science position, I have hazard emitters 1 and science team 2. Pretty much science team 2 is what you want, but if you had a third slot for science, it would be science team 3, hazard emitters 2, and probably polarized hull for your ensign slot, lieutenant slot. Your ensign slot. Alright, so let's go into space and see the ship. Wonder where I'm docked. I want to dock to Deep Space Nine. Oh, it put me on one of the outer pylons. Outer ring. Well, I guess that's appropriate. But as you guys can also see, since it's not playing nice, I have a shark head on the front of the ship. That is a special skin from the pack. So, let us do a patrol. do one of my favorite patrols, and everyone else's favorite, Wanted in our Gala system. Now, the only thing is I gotta keep this ship on at least 25% engine because it moves. So, like, right about here is where I gotta keep the ship for engines. So right now I'll be quiet and you guys can watch me hammer these Kazon.
Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding. Keep concentrating fire on individuals. Separate them. We will not go quietly.
And as you guys can see, I barely lost any shields.
We have the suspect in...
And basically just wrecked them like a truck. So basically that's my build for my Defiant class, the USS Destiny. I hope you guys actually enjoyed the video. I will have more up eventually. And don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Be sure you hit that bell to get notified of any new videos that I put up. And I will see you guys next time.